Hey, welcome to Hashtag with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. This is the place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. My goal is to create a virtual platform for you and I to explore and engage in pertinent conversations society is silent about. What you get out of this is without a doubt a chance for you to have moments of self-assessment so that you can ably jump into your next best season. I am your host, Nabuguzi Kiwanuka, a lawyer, founder, team lead of Equate Foundation, an addict and lover of insightful conversations, and a professional unraveler of social constructs. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself, even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, you made the right choice to come here, because on here we keep unraveling the truest version of who we are supposed to be in society. To the returned subscriber, much respect. Thank you so much for being the heartbeat of this podcast. So, on Sunday, we celebrated Father's Day, and today I am in conversation with one of the most hilarious people in my circle, Oduor Jagero. He believes in the power of conversations with oneself when it comes to unraveling the truest version of oneself. This fire conversation covered his experience with fatherhood and everything in between. I cannot wait for you to enjoy it. With me today is Oduor Jagero. Jags. I just learned that. He is, do we say 3 times?
I'm a writer.
Huh?
I'm a writer.
Okay, you know what? You're going to do it yourself. Let me let you do the bio yourself. So with me is Oduor Jagero. He's the team lead of CMS Africa, founder of Koamedia, and a father. Oduor Jagero, please tell us who you are. Let our listeners get a better picture of who you really are, because I really can't do your bio.
My name is Oduor Jagero. Mm-hmm. Those are actually my artistic names.
Yeah.
I have government names.
Yeah, which shocked
me.
That
I prefer not to put anywhere in the public domain.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're an African, you're sending M-Pesa. My number is 07 something. So if you want to know that name, you can just send M-Pesa, and you know the name. I was born on the shores of Lake of River Nyando.
Yeah.
A village 25 kilometers from Kisumu town, or Kisumu city.
Yeah.
I went to school in the village. I went to high school in the village. Then when I finished high school, I decided to go and look for education in the city of glasses, Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is where I spent most of my adult life, trying to make ends meet, put food on the table, and laugh a little, cry a little.
Yeah.
You know.
Cry a little?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the bathroom.
It's not so common for guys to come out and speak about how they cry. Like, that's something that
I'm not talking about crying.
Like you've mentioned it, but it's something that people usually mask.
Let's not talk about crying for men.
Yeah. But then now we were seeing you going from the village to coming to Nairobi. Take us through the things that you do.
The things I do in the city of glasses.
Yes.
Oh well, I run an agency called Koamedia. That is basically what feeds me.
Yeah.
I do writing consultancy. I do live streaming. I do short videos. I do social media. I do documentaries. Basically, what an agency does.
Yes.
Digital agency. Yeah, and then because we are a digital agency, we build websites, and through websites and developers, I founded CMS Africa, an organization that promotes the use of open source softwares in Africa.
Yeah.
Right, and that is basically what I do. And we are starting to run an academy, which is going to be teaching people across Africa tech and how to use that tech to spur their businesses or find employment or find a way of livelihood.
That's all?
Yeah.
Koa, you're a writer.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Really? Are you serious?
I write. I write, yes. Sometimes I don't feel like writing is my career, is a career. I don't think my writing for me is a career.
Oh yeah.
That is why perhaps I am just.
You don't just.
I'm not looking for publishers and things like that.
Well, Koamedia is doing the publishing.
Yeah, but that is self-publishing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
You don't.
So I'm not looking for publishers, and I don't think Koamedia is not a traditional publisher. It's an indie kind of publishing house.
Yeah.
Indie, whereby if you're not able to get a classic or a traditional publisher, then you do it yourself, and we charge you to do it.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah. So I write short stories. I write prose. I write novels. I have 4 books. One is called True Citizen, a thriller based on Nairobi City.
Yeah.
There is The Ghost of 1894, based on the Rwandan genocide, but goes way back before the genocide.
My very first book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1894 in Germany. Then I have Why the Hospital Corridor is White. It's about a lady finding herself as a surgeon.
Yeah.
And then there is the Urban Lovers and Liars. We talk
most
about the lovers and liars in Nairobi, but also in all our cities.
Yeah.
I think now even in villages.
Yeah. I mean, the villagers have gotten a taste of the urban life. So we're seeing you doing all these things.
Yeah.
I don't know how many titles those make. Maybe 4 titles in one person.
No. I don't think it makes any title. All these things are just living a life and some more part making ends meet, part following your passion.
Yeah.
And part just not sitting under a tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you want to be growing up? Take us through that, the Jagero of 10 years of age or 15. What is
I
it that
remember.
you
I don't remember mostly about that. I don't remember very much if I have crystallized what I wanted to become that early in life. Because if you are brought up in the village and going to school in the village, it's those dreams of becoming. I can't say I wanted to be a doctor. I can't say I wanted to be a pilot. I'll be lying to you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Wasn't there because it feels like it was quite a common question for us at a young age. Like they would keep asking, "What do you want to be?" Well,
but my memory fails me.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I ever thought of being a pilot or a doctor or something that lofty. One thing I didn't want is to become a teacher. That is for sure.
Why not?
Because I thought teachers were very rogue people. Trying to make life difficult. I mean, my school life is the worst memory I have. My school life, my lower primary, my upper primary, my education in my high school education was hellish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to dream. In fact, I have nightmares about school.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, about going to, especially high school, it was so difficult. I had to walk like, I had to walk like 10, 12, 14 kilometers going to school and then coming back.
Wow.
It was very hard. It was like very hard. I didn't like it at all. It was the worst. It is the worst part of me growing up.
Yeah.
Going to school, yeah. Even though it is what has given me what I have now, but I hate it. In fact, I still have nightmares. I was so poor in maths. I didn't like it at all.
Well, at least counting money isn't hard.
No, counting money is not maths. Counting money is not maths at all. Very fast.
It's
counting
addition.
money is an issue.
It's addition.
Yeah.
It's addition.
Yeah, but I think I would still count money even if I didn't go to school. Yeah, you know how to count money from your parents or just by yourself. You learn money. The people who didn't go to school, but they can count money. They can see 100, 100. This is this one.
Yeah, but you still have to have those, the basics of addition.
Yeah,
some people can't do it.
Yeah, of arithmetic.
You have
I
to
think
help
so.
them do it.
So school was that is perhaps at some point I thought that I would be a pastor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I got born again in 1998. And there were...
How old were you then?
1998 divided minus 1982, I don't know. Something.
Makes it 16.
16, yeah, around that age. I think I wanted to be a pastor because I got born again and I was so much into church stuff.
Yeah.
Preaching, leading youth Sunday school and things like that. But I thought that, but I was not like, I'm going to be a pastor for life, but I thought that is something that I was going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, being in church and being in Sunday school and things like that. So that is something that I thought I would do. When I joined high school, it became clear what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a journalist.
Right.
Yeah, it became very clear when I joined high school. This is how it happened. I was very good in writing, composition.
Yeah.
You know, remember the first draft, the second draft, the blah, blah, blah. I was very good in that. So in high school, it became clearer and clearer that I am a writer and an artist. There's one day I wrote a live poem. It was stolen by a gentleman called Gado Lima. Took it to the neighboring girls' school and made his case with my poem.
No credit.
No how. No how. What credit?
My friend helped me do this.
It was his poem. His poem written by his own handwriting, right from his fucking brain.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So but word came out. Word soon traveled.
Yeah.
Back to me that he had actually used my poem. So it was
also, some people knew that it was your poem already.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a validation of sort. That if somebody can steal your poem and start doing
manifestos.
Having manifestos about it and trying to steal hearts with it, then you are onto something. Yeah. Yeah. So that is how I decided to be a journalist. I came to Nairobi, studied journalism in a shitty school, you know, and but most of it I learned by myself. I read a lot. Yeah, that's how I became a writer. Yeah. And because I've done journalism and mass communication, it was a no-brainer that I should open my own farm and start doing something for myself. I think the reason why I didn't get employment, I was employed for 30 minutes though, in my entire life.
Tell us about this 30 minutes.
30 minutes was like this. This guy, I was so broke in this city and I was such a good effing writer. Yeah. And so this guy, I hear that this guy is hiring writers for $300 a month. That's about 30,000 Kenyan shillings. And that was huge. So I decided, but by that time I was already writing a lot of stage plays. Yeah. And I was so much involved in church. And I was so much involved in the art community. Yeah. Like I was busy. Having no money but busy. You know how artists can be so busy but broken. with no shilling in your pocket, but we're so busy, always moving, always trying.
Be kind.
Such a pathetic life.
Be kind. Okay.
I'm still an artist, and I'm speaking about myself. Yeah. Yes. So, well, I say that, right, I should take up this job. This guy has seen my writings and looks nice. It's in the middle, it's in the CBD, Central Business District, downtown Nairobi. Yeah. So I go there, and he gives me a desk. Lovely desk, and I'm supposed to work there. But then I realized, just before 10 a.m. in the morning, that I had a meeting at a Leon's for same town with some artists. So I tell this motherfucker that I need to go to another meeting and I'll be back. For sure I'll be back. Yeah. And he's wondering, the guy has just reported to work and he's already going out for a meeting. So he didn't say no, but I could see he didn't like it. Yeah. So
but when you went to speak to him, were you asking for permission or it was like point of information?
I was going actually,
Oh my God.
But I also carried my computer in my bag. And I think, but then when I went there and had that meeting, I realized that I had another meeting at 3. I didn't go back.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I didn't go back.
You didn't even try the second day?
No, I didn't. I didn't go back. I just realized this is stifling. This is not me. Yeah. Yeah, and so getting a job was going to be difficult because I had a very shitty kind of certificate. One of those, I don't know if you have them in Kampala, but there are these mushrooming city colleges all over the place in 13th, the 13th floor of a given building. They're not very much.
Yeah.
They're not very much fancy, but so I also didn't. I was suffering from inferiority complex from that school.
Yeah.
I thought that was no good, and I didn't put so much energy into looking for work.
Yeah.
So I just decided to do my own things. Actually, I traveled to Rwanda to research my first book immediately after school. Asked my sister for 12,000 that she didn't have, that she asked from her boyfriend.
Yeah.
By then. Yeah. And then she gave me a phone which I sold on the spot and got to travel. So I traveled to Rwanda. Yeah, I think in 2006, I think 2006, 2007. Yeah, to research my book, The Ghost of 1894.
Yo.
Yeah, so I went to Rwanda.
It took that long.
Yes, it was very, very much well researched.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is how I slept in Gatuna and showered with cold water.
No.
In the middle of winter.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
I almost peed on myself that night.
That place is very cold. You can't.
Yeah, Gatuna is very good. Gatuna is very, very cold. Gatuna. The next morning, that she gave me some water in a kettle to wash my face. Yeah. So that has been the journey.
Yeah. So you're seeing you doing all these things. You possibly forgot to mention that you are also a father, and we are also celebrating Father's Day.
Yeah.
With all these responsibilities on your hands.
I don't have a responsibility as a father.
No, wait. You didn't even hear the question.
Go ahead.
With all these responsibilities that you have, how do you balance fatherhood?
Fatherhood.
Yeah.
Fatherhood is interesting to me. I grew up with a very violent father.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father was a wife batterer and a drunkard. Is it a drunkard or a drunk?
Drunkard.
Drunkard, yeah?
Yeah.
I believe drunk is American English or something. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll probably check it out.
Yeah. So my father was very hostile. Mostly hostile, but I think his hostility was coming from drinking.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't drinking...
But even the drinking comes from something.
His father was a true motherfucker.
Yeah.
He almost killed his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, took one of we found his son next to his mother. His mother was cooking chicken.
Yeah.
In a pot. All right? And the boy had neglected the kettle.
Yeah.
He took his son's hand and pushed it into the hot pot.
What reason?
Because he had neglected the kettle. And it was cold, it was windy, it was terrible. And this I was told. But I saw a lot of his crazy stuff. My grandfather, he was very crazy. He almost killed me twice.
Even in his old age.
Yes, he was a crazy old toad. He was bad.
I thought I always imagine that when people get to older ages, they
No. He died a crazy guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, he died a crazy guy. So I feel like my father was drawing from his father.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the guy take a rod and hit a cow, and the horns came out, both horns.
What?
Yeah, and the cow bled for hours. He was a very bad guy. So I think my father was a reflection of his father.
Yeah.
His father was a drunk. My father was a drunk. So it was not a very nice kind of. The memory of my father is a lot of violence and a lot of not good things. Always shouting, always doing all manner of things.
Yeah.
But he took care of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was actually given a nickname called Omundo. What is the word? There is a sentence they used to. I'm going to translate it. It's
Okay.
Omundo. it's Luo. That means flour is the pillar of the house.
A flour?
Flour, yeah, flour. You know, they make ugali out of flour.
Yeah.
So if you have flour in the house, then people won't sleep hungry. They can go look for vegetables and they will eat. So my father used to make sure that there is flour in the house.
Yeah.
And he used to say that a lot of times.
Yeah.
So because he was very reckless with money and he worked as an accountant in Kisumu town, what he would do, the first thing he gets his money is to get flour. Okay. For the entire month, or at least for the better part of the month. So he would know that even if he drank all of it, all of the remaining, his kids will be having flour.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the very bright side of him. You see, he would take care of us. He would buy food. He would buy food if he had the money. The bad thing is that he would drink a lot of his money. Yeah. You know.
So most of it was spent in alcohol.
Yes, in alcohol. You know. So then I thought that I didn't like the way he raised us. Yeah. You know, because of the violence part of it and the drinking and making my mother very unhappy. Yeah. You see. So that is so I have always thought that being a father is taking care of your household with the whip and with strong words, strong language. Yeah. And you know, in not so friendly way. You see. So for me, I think the reason why I say to myself, I don't want to go back into that life. I don't want to live live with my family the way I see my uncles, my grandfather, the way they basically boss around their households, you know, and make sure that they are seen as the Lord, the Lord of the ring, the Lord of the house. Yeah. Always. Yeah. You see, so fatherhood for me is my memory of fatherhood is bad. Yeah. That is why for me as a father, I have always wanted my child to be very safe. You know, to feel like very safe. Yeah, to feel like the house and next to me is where she feels safest. Yeah. You know? I did not feel safe next to my father at all. I did not feel safe next to my uncles because they were bad. There was only one uncle of mine that was a very good guy, and coincidentally he was born again. Okay. And he was very, very good. He used to work in Turkana with a Bible institution. Did you ever ask him why he was different from his? No, brothers? There was no need. There was no way of asking. You know, I could see why he was different. He had a change of heart. A change of heart. Yeah, obviously he had changed. And this is the good thing I like about Christianity. All right? Yeah. But Christianity can genuinely change someone. Yeah. Yeah? You know, you can read the Bible and ask and go on your knees. Yeah. And pray for God to change you. Yeah. And based on that you can change. Yeah. And it is for me, and that is why as an artist and as somebody who has grown up my adulthood in Christianity, I see a lot of artists and writers, you know, not accepting the place of God in our lives. Exactly. But for me, I have a testimony and an experience with God. I do not think that I would be here if I had not gone on my knees and asked God to save my life. Yeah. Because I am crazier than anyone else in my family. You see? Yeah. I'm crazier than anyone else. Yeah. And I'm the least violent. Oh yeah. You see? So I think that God has played a very important role in my life. And I can tell you for sure that if I had not gone on my knees and asked God to save me, I would be dead. Because I would be a drunk, I would be a rogue thief, I would be somebody really, really bad. Now let me tell you something. When you talk about Christianity, I mean, I was going through, the time I got to meet you, I was going through a couple of evolutions. Yeah. So
I was just new in the art space, and I was seeing people, most of the people there were just not acknowledging God.
Yes.
And then here I was in your home, we're going to church on Sunday, and I was like, for real?
Yeah.
There are very many things that shocked me when I got to know you more, but that church thing, I was like, what? We're going to church for real? And now when you speak more about it, it's like it does make sense.
Yeah. So that is the life that I've always. There is something it has done to me.
Yeah.
You know, even when I came to Nairobi, the first place I went was church.
How did you come to this space
Which space?
of feeling like I need God?
That happened in the village.
Yeah.
That happened in the village. Like I told you, my childhood was very traumatizing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I am the only one. Myself and our youngest brother and I are the only people who have gone past Form 4 education.
Yeah.
All the rest of the three dropped out.
Yeah.
Because of no support.
Yeah.
Completely no support from my father. I remember my sister was very bright.
Yeah.
And she was not able to continue because she couldn't afford the exam fees.
Oh yeah.
You know, my sister became pregnant in Form 3, and I have a feeling that my parents should have struggled to get her back to school after she had given birth.
Yeah.
But she was called a failure because she got pregnant, and that is how she dropped out just before she finished. So when I was in class 8, I went to a prayer and fasting with my friends.
That is even before your secondary education.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went, and then
prayer and fasting. That's like
I didn't know it was prayer and fasting until I went there. The guy just told me that it was something, you know, some congregation or sort.
Yeah.
But then I almost died
without eating.
Yeah, I remember the last meal was on Friday at 1, and the next meal was on Sunday.
What?
It was a dry fast.
What?
Yeah. What? It was a dry fast for 2 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I almost died.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. For a 13-year-old, I'm imagining.
Yes, it's 15.
Yeah.
15, yeah. So that is how I got into Christianity.
Yeah.
And my life really changed after that. I felt like I had hope. I felt like
when you came out of it.
Yeah, I felt like I could do things. In from the guy preached.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He preached at around 10 on Saturday. Yeah. And he said, whoever wants to what is the word he used? To surrender.
Oh yeah.
Whoever wants to surrender their life to Jesus Christ, to come in front. And I went there and I knelt down.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You know, kneeling down is a place of humility.
Yes. And I knelt down and I poured my heart out to God. I needed salvation. You know, salvation from family.
Yeah.
From whatever is holding them. You know, some people will think about this as really nonsense. They don't
acknowledge.
They can say what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
But really, this is my experience. It is real experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time people say there is no God, I say fine, but I have an experience.
Yeah. I
have an experience, and it is a very intentional. Like God was very intentional with me.
Yeah.
And when I came out of that place, everybody had gone down and sat down. I opened my eyes, and everybody was back to their seats. I was the only one at the altar.
Boy.
So I came out of that place, and I looked at the window, and the world was different.
Felt like some heavy
Yes,
thing had been lifted off your shoulders.
The world was really, really, really different.
Yeah.
So if the world was different, then that is how I started saying to myself that I can do everything through Christ
who strengthens you.
who strengthens me.
Yeah.
And I did some crazy things after that. After that, I told myself that I have to go to college. That is how I traveled to Uganda to Mukono.
Yeah.
To go see if I can get admitted at Mukono University.
Yeah.
And it was not possible. You see? And I came back to Kenya, but I said I'm still going to school. And I told God I'm going to school. I said I'm going to Nairobi to go to school. I didn't have school fees at all. Yeah. My father had left about $290 in his account when he died. My mother had eaten most of it.
Yeah.
So I told God I'm going to Nairobi for education, and I don't have anybody I'm going to stay with in the city. And this gentleman called my uncle. I'm not going to tell him in advance because I know he's going to say no.
Yeah.
So I will go to his house, and you figure it out how you're going to deal with him.
Yeah.
The guy did not ask me why I had come without asking him. I stayed in his house for 2 years. Never asked a question.
Whoa.
Yes.
So before you went there, you told God to.
I'm going to Nairobi, and I called his brother, and I told his brother I'm coming to Nairobi, and his brother thought that he had spoken with his brother. I've spoken with his brother. No problem. I had not. And I stayed there with them for 3 years. 2 to 5 months into my schooling, my mother died. That is after my father had died. I had literally no one in Nairobi.
Yo.
You see, no school fees, no fare, no food, nothing. And I told God I'm not going back to the village. You see, and I stayed in Nairobi and finished my certificate. I went and told my lecturer that I have got so much school arrears that I have to drop out now at certificate level. But she told me, write a letter to the principal, tell them that you are not able to pay school fees. I wrote a letter and they gave me sponsorship for 3 years.
What?
They wrote off my debt and gave me full scholarship for the 3 years of my school.
Yo.
You see?
Yo.
After my college, I told God I'm going to Rwanda to research. And I went to Rwanda with only fare.
What?
I was seated in church in Kigali.
Oh, you went to church in Kigali?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a white guy who has a church in Kigali called what? I forget the name. And I'm seated. You remember I am in some dangerous hotel. Yeah, waiting for God to give me direction.
Yeah.
I am seated in church, and this guy behind me is Kenyan.
Okay.
And I'm jotting down Bible notes as the guy is preaching. I'm jotting down, and you can see the notebook I'm having. The school books.
Oh yes.
The one where they write names of schools.
Yes.
The guy said, I think this is a school in Kisumu.
Yeah.
And the guy taps my shoulder after the church and tells me, "What? You coming from Kisumu?" He says, "Yeah." I lived with this guy for the next 8 months.
What?
In a government, he was given a government house.
Hoy.
Yeah, I lived with him for all those months and returned to Kenya with my book.
God and the book served you actually.
Yeah, so it's always been like that.
Yeah.
So going back to fatherhood.
Yeah.
That for me is how I want to treat my family. You know, I saw my wife, my mother being battered countless times. I'm not interested in battering my wife.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in using words that will not, make us have peace.
Yeah.
Because I think home is the place where you should feel very
safe.
Very safe. Yeah, but I did not have that.
Yeah, I actually there are a couple of people that I've told quite often that as a parent, you shouldn't be the person. You shouldn't be one of the people that break your children, because when the world breaks them, at least they have somewhere to fall back. And I imagine it's the same thing, parents and home. When the world breaks the child, at least they have something to fall back on.
I think that in living your life, you have to be very intentional about about why you do the things you do.
Yeah.
Most of the times I've realized that people do not have conversations with themselves.
Powerful.
You know?
Powerful.
There is a pastor called Pastor Yetepo who built a home in Nigeria, a very luxurious home.
Yeah.
And one of the rooms was called a thinking room.
Okay.
It's not a study room.
Okay.
It's a thinking room with only one chair.
Boy.
Yeah.
Nothing else in the
Nothing
room.
else. He just goes there and thinks for hours.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that is the, when I heard him preach about thinking, I started thinking,
Yeah.
you know, why am I behaving the way I am behaving? Why am I doing things the way I'm doing?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this the way I'm doing it?
Yeah.
If I want to be violent to my kid, why exactly am I doing this?
What's the reason?
What's the reason why I'm doing this? You know, and that is for me why I am not afraid of my inadequacies. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know myself better than most people think they know me. I know myself. I know my problems.
Yeah.
And I know my demons.
Yeah.
And I know them by name.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So whenever I am about to do something, I think through it. You know, if I am going to be violent to somebody, why am I in a hurry to be violent to my own wife? Why am I in a hurry to be violent to my neighbor,
my child,
all these things?
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like sometimes we sell ourselves to things that have happened to us in the past, and we think that we are powerless around those things.
Some people grow comfortable to a point that they just say, I'm like that.
Yeah.
They lack conversations with
But I mean, you can say that I'm like that, but what are you doing about it?
Yes.
Are you saying that in 6 months I am not going to be this person? Because if you can say that in 6 months I'm going to be this person, then you can be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that counseling is not a very bad thing after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I have cousins that need counseling.
To break away from the bondage of the past.
Yeah. The things that are happening to them and the cycle that they always find themselves into. They need counseling to get out those things. Even we are talking about counseling where you go and sit down, but you can read about it.
Yeah.
You can read about your problem.
Yeah.
How people have managed to come out of their problems.
Yeah.
You can simply read, and that is counseling for me.
Yeah.
You can watch YouTube videos. Yeah. But running away from your problem is just going to hurt everybody around you.
You can't run away from it.
Yeah. So
you can't just choose to run.
Yeah. So fatherhood, I have got only one child.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife the other day that I don't really feel the weight of fatherhood, as I think other men do. You know, if you are having 3 kids, 5 kids, 6 kids, and they are probably of age, I feel that then the real fatherhood sets in, whereby you have to balance their emotions.
Yeah.
You have to balance their fights.
Yeah.
And most importantly, the demands they have from you, paying school fees. Telling them not to go to this party, coming drunk home, all those things. I think that is the real fatherhood.
That's when it really sets in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the real work.
For me, I have a 6-year-old girl who is really having the best time of her life.
Yeah. Just
running around the house, not demanding so much
checking
from me.
anyone.
Yeah. So for me as a father, I don't think it is different if I was single. I did not if I did not have a wife and I did not have a kid. If you're looking at that person and looking at me, then I'm a father. You see?
Yeah.
I am a father, then what kind of father am I? So every time is that I promised myself that as a family we want to live as friends.
Yeah.
You see, as a family we want to live as friends. My wife is my friend. My kid is my friend.
Yeah.
We can go having fun together. We can call on each other. I think that is the kind of life that I want to live as a father.
Yeah.
That everybody, whether my wife or my kid, they are my friends.
Yeah.
you tend to live better around your friends.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
And if you make it casual without having it very casual, then it's the best. Like the way I live with my wife. A lot of people wonder the kind of couple I am with.
Man. Like, that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other like, what?
You see, but I think I'm not going to get bored with this relationship.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get bored with my relationship.
Yeah.
Because of how light it is for me.
Yeah.
You know, because if I keep it this way, it is going to survive for a long time.
And then becoming stringent.
But if I complicate it, because I feel like people really complicate their relationship with women.
Yeah.
Men can complicate relationship with women.
They always want to feel superior or something like that.
Yeah,
they're hungry for validation.
Yes, especially what have you written on my phone? What have you putting on your phone? What is on your phone? Who are you calling?
Why are you not looking at me?
Why are you not looking at me? Blah blah blah. Why are you not telling me how my day was? Blah 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 blah. Many things.
Yeah.
See, but I also think that I am off. I am. But I also think that is also from my father. Yeah, a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like that is something from my father. My father was not a very touchy person.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Was not very touchy. Not very a typical patriarch.
But then you don't really sit on the throne of patriarchy.
No, I never sit on throne of patriarchy. No, I make my own food.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Yes, I make my own food. I can make my own breakfast. I can do anything for myself. That is why I bought a washing machine, so that I can throw my underwear in there. I'm a sweaty there.
You didn't have to talk about how sweaty they are.
I'm telling you. But the machine will do it for me.
Anyway, so we're having all these things. You've talked about the inferiority complex. You've talked about how you went to church before. Okay, the congregation. What did you call it? That moment for prayer and fasting.
Yes.
To check with yourself and break away from this bondage of brokenness. How do you keep your mental health in check?
Mental health.
Yeah.
It's a very confusing topic to me.
Yeah.
You might. I don't know whether I call it mental check. Me, I call it. I don't know what I call it. What do I call it? Mental check. I call it giving my giving myself space. To withdraw from a few things. That is, you've seen me going to the village a lot of times.
Yeah.
I go to the village purely to find myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always joke that I'm going to stand on my mother's grave. You know?
Yeah.
But I withdraw from a lot of things to go to the village and connect with the birds.
Yeah.
Connect with the morning dew.
Yeah.
That is not here in this city.
Yeah.
At least to connect with the place where I was born. I always feel that there is something very powerful about the place where I was born. And every time I go to the village, I get some energy back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in Uganda, they usually say, "Gende mpeozewa mwezi kufuweko," which means that go to your home of birth so that the winds of your ancestors blow some air on you. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, if you see me in Europe, the next time you see me, I'm in the village.
Wow.
Yeah. If I go to America or I go to Europe and drop in Nairobi, the next 2 weeks I'll be in the village. Or if I work on an event, yeah. When we were with you in Rwanda doing CMS Africa, I was in Uganda and came back to Nairobi, and 1 week later was in the village. if I do something very...
So it's a ritual for you?
It's a ritual for me. It's a ritual for me to always go back to the village. And once I sleep there and talk my language to the people in the village, I suddenly just find... And you know what? When I was growing in the village, I hated the village.
Yeah.
I really, really hated the village. And I yearned for a life out of the village.
Mm-hmm.
And now, my view of the village has completely changed.
Yeah.
And that is why right now I'm building in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like my village is the best place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have changed in the village. We now have a city 25 kilometers away.
Mm-hmm.
We have water, we have electricity, we have internet. So things are looking up, and I feel like so that in short is how I take care of my mental check. I block a lot of I don't watch a lot of news.
Wow, I learned that from here, by the way. That's one of the things that I took away from here.
Yeah.
Because I was so much addicted to news.
Yeah.
That thing made me run mad.
Yeah.
But we don't know that. Some people don't know.
I don't watch news.
Yeah.
I don't follow Nation on social media.
Yeah.
I don't follow the Standard on social media. I don't follow the White House or State House.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow most of the big politicians on social media.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
Because at some point I was getting panic attacks.
I got that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
So everybody that does not add anything to my life, Uhuru Kenyatta, anybody.
Yeah.
I follow some crazy things in this life on social media. Like I follow an artist in Italy.
Yeah.
He just draws.
Yeah.
That's the guy I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I follow this guy who does woodwork in Austria.
Yeah.
Those are the people I follow. And those people give me so much joy just looking at what they can do with their work.
And even inspiration.
Yeah, with their hands.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I hardly follow humans. I follow only organizations. I think I only follow 2 people in Instagram. I only follow organizations, artists. If you're an artist and you have a big name, then I follow you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you give us space, the ones that are growing?
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I follow an artist. There are artists that they do great things with a group of people, but they still go under their name. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I don't mean that I follow big artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the things I follow.
Yeah.
And that is how I keep my mental check.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV because I realize that TV is Kenyan TV. In fact, all African TVs,
they don't offer anything.
They are so torturing.
It's just so painful.
Like, for example, what would they be talking about Museveni's TV in Uganda? That UBC thing next to Kenya National Theatre, Uganda National Theatre. What would they be talking about? That nonsense. Better follow a YouTube channel. Talking about setting up a vaccine at Mulago Hospital. Come on. Can't even make Panadol in Uganda.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing your story. I'm really grateful that you've given us your story and given us an insight on how you keep your mental health in check.
All right.
My takeaway from this episode is that if I am seeking self-development, it is important for me to constantly check in with my patterns and also ask myself why I do the things I do. Thank you for tuning in into another episode of Hashtime with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtime with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka in your podcast platform of choice. Share it with your friends. Be that cool friend. Also, feel free to share your insights about what connected with you in this episode. Tag us on social media at Hashtime with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter our handle is at HTNK Podcast. You can also reach us on our email, htnkpodcast@gmail.com. Your reviews are welcome. I really look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, take time to understand your patterns. Ciao.